In a world of virtual baseball cards, not all pixels are created equally. Some cards are meta, some are Richie Ashburn. We're going to go over every position, talk about the most value, the best cards at each and every position. I spent so much time on this, so I'd really appreciate, leave a like down below, subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. I can't tell you how many times we're live on twitch.tv/GomesDaLegend. It's in the description if you were curious. Gomer, who do I use here? Gomer, I have 15 stubs. Who should my catcher be? Well, I'm going to answer these questions right here. I plan about every 2 weeks or every big content drop to update this. Just talk about my thoughts on who the best cards are at each position and also rank them in terms of value. You know, no shit, Frank Thomas is really good, but how does he stack up against other cards when looking at how much the card actually goes for? Let's go ahead and get into it. So here we are, the catcher position. Everything is ranked. As far as S tier, the best that it gets, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and then very budget-friendly options. And of course, the green, yellow, and red are indicators of how much I think this card is valued. For example, Gary Carter is a pretty bad value, 250k, because I think Adley Rutschman's kind of on the same tier, and he goes for 200k less. So S tier, I think catcher is your best spot for your cap. Piazza cards, I'm not a big fan of Johnny Bench, Ivan Rodriguez. I think your cap's going to be really good at catcher this year. Mauer's great, 300k great. There's going to be better catchers there. We talked about Gary Carter. Jorge Posada is always very meta. Adley, I love that card right there. 2 switch hitter catcher options for 50k or less. Now again, collection cards. You might have progress towards them already made, which is fine. I'm just stating this is how much their true value is. If you didn't have a single card and wanted to get Gary Carter, that's what it would be like. And you'll see Taylor Ward there. I put guys in positions where I think they should play based off where they will be the best. So Taylor Ward, in my opinion, has more value as a catcher than infielder or outfielder or pitcher, whatever spot he plays. Otherwise, you'll see like Mike Napoli or that free Jorge Alfaro, I think are very good options at catcher at tier 2. Going for 5k and 0 stubs respectively. Now again, time is valued, and I reflect that. You'll see here with Piazza. I don't think the grind for Conquest is worth what you get for the Piazza card, so it's a yellow even though it's technically a free card. You get what I mean? So that's the catcher spot. Let's move on to first base. I honestly think Delgado is nearly Frank Thomas. Frank is not going to be there all year for you. The card is underwhelming in terms of other Frank Thomas that we've seen, but that's fine. I'm happy that collection cards aren't used your tax return. Spend $1,000 and boom, you have 3 of the best cards in the game from March to February. I'm glad that's not the case. Delgado's great for 100k. Josh Bell at 11,000 is insane value. Rizzo, not really worth the grind. Again, if you have a guy like Josh Bell, in my opinion, then Prince Fielder, he's good. And if you have these collection cards, I'm not saying they're bad. He's in tier 1 with cards I just, you know, fellatioed right there. But for the price, probably not as good as those other ones. Dunn at 15k is good. Torkelson, I love at 8,000. Tomei's a great bench bat. It's unfortunate. He was cheap for a while, but then JRM went up. You'll see we have a couple of the face of the franchise cards. Move my big ass over here. Vlad's great. He can't hit lefties. Jock Peterson. He's well better than tier 3. He can only hit against one side, though. So he's one of the best cards of the game at the niche that he's at, a pinch hitter versus righties, but that's about all he can do. So a bunch of options right there. Move on to second base. Chase Utley's great. I don't know if we're getting a better one. Prime Utley was better than a 97, damn it. Again, did you watch the Phillies? I did. I cried over the 2008 World Series, god damn it. So 550k, a great card. But I look at Cattell and Mookie Betts. Again, those are not second basemen, but in my opinion, that's where you should play him. Mookie doesn't have a great arm, and he's not the fastest. Same thing with Cattell Marte. I think that's their best spot, so I labeled him as a second baseman. In my opinion, Cattell's a little bit better. Now, partly because I still have PTSD from the other day. Perfect fly ball with Mookie Betts against righty. 77 power. Warning track flyout. Unfortunate. His back wasn't even against the wall. It was like fringe. It was nearly on outfield grass. Horrible. There's the new Joe Morgan at 42k. Again, these cards are going to depreciate in value, which at that point it'll get more worth it. But again, there's new cards coming out at not every day. This isn't Madden. Thank God for that. But there's Jazz, Matt Carpenter. The Ryan Sandberg's actually kind of nice. A couple budget options here. The Durham's pretty good for the White Sox collection. Altuve should get another upgrade right there. Just the small targets, man. I'm not used to, like, Hobbit-sized players, which you'll see with Jose Ramirez when I talk about him. Let's move on to third base. I think that Pujols is at his best at 3B. He can play outfield. He's not that slow. It's not live series Pujols. It was negative speed. We have Troy Gloss. I just don't hit well with him. Everybody talks shit about him on my stream. I had him at third base, and I got like 6 messages saying, why the fuck is he playing? Go replace him with Michael Young. So people don't like that card. Jose Ramirez, I love him. His contact against lefties, I think only 72. I have him parallel 4. So 100K, he's still a great card. He was a lot more worth it when you bought in at 20K. Eddie Matthews, these program cards are insane value. So is Matt Chapman at 9K. Really good stuff there. Rafi Devers, love that card. Again, Miguel Cabrera. We got 0 power. He's immune to hitting home runs, but he's a single champ. We have Eugenio Suarez, if you look past his contact against lefties, pretty decent card. Big fan of that Jordan Walker card for 4K. It's some of the best value you'll get. You might notice 0 for Evan Longoria there. Yes, I think Harmon Killebrew is a better card to use than this Evan Longoria. He has the same. He's better power and better contact. Now, this card's a gold. Longoria's an 89. You tell me. Michael Young, he's really good. But unfortunately, he is the AL West reward. So you have Trout, you have Ohtani, 650K locked in. He's not going to have that much lifespan, but for right now, he is good. Ernie Banks, he was a fan favorite in the weekend tournament that just occurred. Big fan. I've used him as well. In events and ranked, no, I did not play the tournament. I value my sanity, and not looking to spend another $60 on a controller anytime soon. They get expensive. Corey Seager, I have him parallel 5 for good reason. I love that card. Tatis, you might say, Gomer, are you a hater? Do you not like Tatis? What did Fernando Tatis 6 do to you? Well, that explains it. He has 60 fielding. You gotta be lucky to pick up the ball. I have 99 fielding. Francisco Lindor making errors. I can't really justify. Plus, he doesn't have inside edge. Brendan Crawford, I like. He just can't really hit lefties for 76K. I'd much rather, again, look at the disparity between 12K and 76. I don't think anybody would probably take Crawford, maybe over Seager, but in my opinion, he's just better balanced, and he has like 30 speed at shortstop. It's a hard pill to swallow if there's a Texas Leaguer hit. I better have Usain Bolt in the outfield because Brandon's not getting to it. Lindor's pretty decent. I do enjoy that card, although his contact's low. He kills in events on all-star difficulty. He's a monster. Tim Anderson's going to get a fat upgrade against righty, so he's going to be a very good card to use. Keep an eye on him. Then a couple gold cards there. I like the Javi Baez. Those cover cards are going to start to go down in price now that they're in the new program. Here we have corner outfielders. Roberto Clemente, great card. Max contact, great defender. A million Stubs. This card is not going to last too long. He has 85 power out of the box. He's probably replaced midsummer. Kurt Gibson, on the other hand, if you look at the disparity, 65K compared to 1 million. A lot less contact, but otherwise, it's essentially cut from the same fruit there. Jim Edmonds, I think he's obviously a corner outfielder. I'm not going to put 60 speed in center. Ralph Kiner, I'm going to really consider using. He's limited mobility-wise. He might need a scooter when he gets into Walmart, but he's going to hit fucking bombs, and that's all I'm paying him for. Yelich, I'm also looking forward to making him as a replacement. Judge, he's going to get a versus lefties hit, but he's going to gain against righties, so I'm interested to see what happens to him. Will Myers is such a good card. It is literally Diet Mookie. We just saw he goes for 80K. Will Myers is like the same card, just minus like 10 contact aside, 15 on one side. For 9K, ridiculous value. The Dawson's pretty good, just a long grind again. We have Justice and Sheffield, 2 guys who cannot run in the outfield. They have stone, dried cement for feet, but they can hit. Haniger's great. See a couple face of the franchise guys there. Tony Gwynn for 300K. He has like 30 power. That's about 10,000 stubs per each power attribute. Pretty good ratio. Yeah, I'm surprised he wasn't on S tier here. The Seiya Suzuki's a great card for free. Mookie's going to get a big upgrade here. He's been doing well. You see Nelson Cruz peering his head over there. I guess he wasn't fast enough to to make it towards the front of the line. He just settled for the back. Then a couple gold cards there in the penny pincher tier. Center field, shorter, because a lot of these guys should be corner guys in my opinion. Trout is clearly worth 385K. He's the best card in the game. So damn good. Acuna for 210. His contact stats have been boosted a little bit. Grady at 140. Again, he was definitely worth it before J-Ram went so expensive, but just kind of an alright card. I love Mickey at 15K. I still use him. Then you have like the Kenny Lofton. 9K, compare him to Juan Pierre. He's pretty significantly better. Byron Buxton, the live series is just better than the face of the franchise at this point. Gets inside edge as well, which that card does not. A couple more that you'll see right there. Move on to pitchers. There's a lot to talk about here. The S tier, these, in my opinion, are probably who the best 5 are. Certainly, Randy Johnson and Tom Glavine are there. Now, 2 mil, you see that in the green. I think that value is worth it. If you face that card this year, it is deadly. Despite not having a sinker, he is so good with the break, the control, and the speed on those pitches. He is damn good. The Glavine has max control on literally every pitch. Shohei's decent. I'm getting better at pitching with him, and you also have the luxury of him hitting, which a lot of these guys can't. Musina, I should be better with him than I am, but I'm going to put him at this top 5. I don't necessarily agree. We have Halladay, the new card there. My biggest issue is he doesn't throw hard, and his delivery is pretty hittable, but we'll see on that card right there. I only feel super confident about saying Randy Johnson and Tom Glavine are top 2 pitchers in the game right now. And again, this is kind of going to depend on difficulty. You know, you'll take a guy like Corey Kluber. We'll move my horse face here, and you'll see that he has like 72 hit 9. That's awful on All-Star, but once you move up to Hall of Fame and Legend, that gets a little bit more playable. Because PCI size is reflected on 2 things: the battle between contact stat and hit per 9 from the hitter and the pitcher, and then the difficulty. So you take the same hitter and pitcher, but just move the difficulty up, the pitcher's going to get a boost. That's why averages, runs are less common, more strikeouts, the higher difficulties you go. DK, Dallas, big fan of him right there for 35K, and Carlos Carrasco, and Price, and Burns. Very good value. I love those 4 right there. DeGrom, he doesn't have outlier this year. He's not up on inside edge because he's hurt. He's just not as good this year. His break also isn't crazy. Seaver, they changed his windup. I've heard he's a lot better. Kershaw just doesn't excite me. J.R. Richard has only horizontal and straightforward pitches, which really hurts him. Nothing off speed. Kyle Wright's pretty decent. You know me, probably the same as yourself. I love me some Oral, but every man has his price. 30K might be a little too high for Oral. The new Al Leiter, pretty good. Randy Johnson right there. The new Cole Hamels is on tier 2. There's just so many pitchers to talk about. He didn't make it on the list. 85K for Scherzer. I actually see some comp guys use him, but I assume that was partly because of inside edge. If he was up, his hit 9 would be like 110. But he's now injured for multiple weeks, so he's not going to have that luxury. Then Pablo Lopez, Marichal, I've heard is actually quite decent if you really know how to pitch with him. That'll go with a guy like Mike Mussina, who a problem with him I have, he doesn't have a changeup. You really have to do well with pitch tunneling. Some of those free guys, the Merrill Kelly and the Roy Oswalt, not bad at all. And you'll see a couple more like 1K, 3K kind of guys. Most people probably are at a budget higher than that, but they are options if you are just starting out and don't have any stubs to your name. Kenley Jansen for 300K. He's probably the best righty, I would say, in the game right now. D-Will's great, but more people have him, so you see him a lot more often. You're going to get more familiar with him, but he's damn good for 10K. C-Shack, I guess. I just didn't want only one guy in Tier 1 here. Class A is okay. I have him P5 because of Conquest, not ranked. I hardly use him. The Joan Durant's pretty decent. Michael King is very good. Tom Henke I have good results with, but I don't know if that's because my opponents are ass. But he's not worth 80K. The new Kenley Jansen, now that he's upgraded to Diamond on the Live Series, pretty good. The Ottavino cannot hit the broadside of a barn. Guy has no accuracy whatsoever. I mean, Weatherman from Minneapolis, probably more accurate on their readings than this Ottavino. Then Blake Trinan, if you need a gold budget option for a reliever, he's really good. Lefties, tough time here deciding who's the best, because Andrew Miller has like 40 control on his changeup. Zach Britton, I beat the shit out of him. I don't know why. I think it's because he only has fastballs and a slider. He has great hit 9, but he's super easy to read. Chapman, I don't know. I gave it to Hader. It's probably one of these 4 here. You tell me, who do you think the best lefty reliever is? The new Brad Hand, pretty damn good for 9K. The John Franco is pretty decent as well. The Screwball is very effective if you know how to throw it right. Aaron Loop, I always say, is one of the best lefty relievers, especially on a budget that you could have. I mean, I use him over a guy like Billy Wagner. There's the Jose Alvarado, Gold Chapman, a lot of options there, but that's going to do it. We're back to square one. We made it through all 9 positions and relievers. The best cards of the game for every budget, how I rank them. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below. Like I said, spent a long time on this. We're going to have new cards coming soon, but, you know, after we just got the big hit from the new program with Halladay, and we got the very good Always Intense pack, I was kind of surprised at how good that is and how much value there was. Definitely had to make an update towards this list here. So again, let me know who you think is underrated, who's overrated. Am I a goddamn fool for some of the rankings I had here? As always, leave a like if you guys enjoy, and thank you for watching. Hope you guys have a great day. There comes out, eat.